Welcome to Wednesday's time of solitude and silence. Well done you for making the time available for yourself, being kind to yourself. Maybe some of you have said, I'm going to make that time matter. I'm going to carve out that time for me today. So good for you. I'm conscious that when we have our times of silence, some of us might enjoy an absolute pure silence, no interruptions, no noise at all. But for many of us, there'll be other attendant sort of background noise. For me, it's the rain on the windows today, and occasionally the wind seems to get through somewhere and whistle away. But whatever other attendant sounds we notice today, we can just let them be, not let them worry about us or get cross that they're spoiling our quiet moments. So hopefully you're settled and comfortable. Feel yourself relaxing wherever your breath, maybe taking a few deeper breaths, breathing in through our nose, maybe out through our mouth, just to be aware of us, be aware of me and the wonder of who I am. Can I say, when we come to our Bible reading today, it has in its first line is, do not love the world or anything in the world. I just want to make clear that when the Bible speaks in this way, it doesn't mean not to love the world of people or not to love the world of nature. It means more the systems and the ways of the world that are contrary to our well-being, if you like. So welcome. We begin with 2-minute silence and then our Bible story. So, from St. John's first letter from the New Testament, chapter 2, we read these words: "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever." The great Thomas Merton wrote these words: "At the end of the 3rd century, in the deserts of Egypt, an extraordinary phenomenon occurred. Christian men and women began to flee the cities and villages to seek out God in the desert. They discerned how easy it was to lose one's soul in the entanglements and manipulations found in society. So they pursued God in a radical way by moving to the desert. They became known as the Desert Fathers. Society was regarded by them as a shipwreck, oh dear, from which each single individual man had to swim for his life. These were men who believed that to let oneself drift along, passively accepting the values of what they knew as society, was purely and simply a disaster. They knew they were helpless to do any good for others as long as they floundered about in this wreckage. But once they got a foothold on solid ground, things were different. Then they had not only the power, but even the obligation to pull the whole world to safety after them." So writes Thomas Merton from his era, I think writing in the 50s and 60s. So our question today: how do you hear the words of the Apostle John? Do not love the world or anything in the world. Maybe there's something in that question about what pulls us away from the things that we know are right and good and wholesome and healthy. Maybe for those of us that would call ourselves Christians, it's those aspects of things around us that pull us away from God's presence and God's ways. How do you hear the words of the Apostle today? Do not love the world or anything in the world. So we return to silence for 2 minutes and we think and ponder and relax in the presence of God. Lord, in order to be with you, I need you to show me how to create a desert in the midst of my full active life. Cleanse me from the pressures and illusions and pretenses that confront me today, so that my life may serve as a gift to myself and to those around me. Amen. So may we be blessed as we carry that silence, whatever we've experienced in these moments together, into the rest of our days.